I've said it on many occasions, the climate emergency kills. We're seeing it all over Europe, we're seeing it in Spain too. All of us must rise to the challenge that lies ahead.
This is not the time of the year, not the terrain, and not the conditions to be having any kind of small fire, or indeed fireworks.
I reacted to what I saw. My intuition saying we had to leave the village saved our lives.
This is home for us. This is our forest. We had never seen this. This is a climate event we will never forget.
The danger isn't over yet. Several days of hot, dry weather lie ahead, which increases the risk here and several other parts of the UK.
The 2026 summer has got off to a scorching start, with temperature records being broken right across Europe. Extreme heat and dry weather has already resulted in multiple wildfires across the continent, and authorities are bracing for more over the next few months. Well, you can see on this map the areas across France, Spain and the UK that have experienced major wildfires over the last few days. And with the heat wave set to continue, these areas in the south of England are facing an exceptional risk for wildfires over the coming days. Well, UK fire chiefs are warning that firefighters are facing extreme pressure at the moment. In North Wales, almost 1 million square metres of land has been consumed by a fire at Conwy Mountains. Smoke from the fire was even visible from space. In Greater Manchester, this fire has burned above Dovestone Reservoir for 3 days now. More than 60 firefighters are trying to get it under control, using drones and a helicopter to drop water. So, how does a wildfire actually start? Well, to answer that, here's Ben Levy from Greater Manchester Fire and Rescue Service.
These fires can be caused by many natural means, but also we've heard the risks of using disposable barbecues out on these moors, or lighting small fires, or carelessly discarded cigarettes.
Well, another question lots of people online have been asking: how fast do these fires spread?
And the phrase "spreads like wildfire" is there for a reason. These fires are very, very fast moving and they're very unpredictable. And given the wind conditions and the slope and the way the sun changes and warms up different parts of the hillside, that's where the skill of our firefighters and our specialist officers will come in, predicting where the fires may go, where they might pop up, and getting ahead of that in time to put them out.
In France, authorities say an estimated 32,000 hectares of land, that's roughly the size of Orlando in Florida, have burned so far this year. Firefighters are continuing to battle a large wildfire just south of Paris, which is raging for a second day, as Pierre-Antoine Denis reports.
2,000 acres of forest gone in just a matter of days. Fires that is unlikely to be contained in days but more weeks. These are words that we're not used to say when it comes to France, and especially the suburb of Paris, but it is unfortunately the new reality here in the country. A criminal investigation is underway when it comes to Fontainebleau forest fire, as it is believed to be human caused. But when you combine a dry climate, a hot temperatures, record-breaking temperatures as we've seen, and strong winds as we've reported in many parts of France, it creates this fiery cocktail for the French Weather Agency that makes the forest of France highly vulnerable to wildfires. The firefighters have estimated over 200 fire incidents across the country in the last 24 hours alone. The wildfires are already having an impact on the population, especially as it is a very busy time of the year with Bastille Day, many tourists going all across the country. The SNCF, the railway operation, have had to cancel train lines as fires were starting very close to it. And the main motorway linking Paris to the south of France is also closed in many chunks of it. So we've only a month or so into the summer here in France, as we're in mid-July, and almost the same amount of very hot temperatures and days to come. It's unfortunately feared here all across the country among the population that we're in for another record-breaking year when it comes to wildfires.
Well, let's turn to Spain, because there at least 13 people have been killed by a wildfire in the Almería province. The fire has now been contained, but was one of the deadliest Spain has ever experienced. Our correspondent Nick Beak drove to Bedar, the village at the heart of this blaze.
Driving around this scorched landscape is really, really eerie and surreal. What's really striking is the smell of smoke It's really strong days after the fire.
7,000 hectares were scorched by flames that killed at least a dozen people.
So much of this landscape is completely scarred and charred by the devastating fire. Some properties survived. You can see that one there, a sort of creamy colour in this sea of black. And just looking out across the hillside here, other properties clearly untouched.
Well, Sarah, Keith Lucas from BBC Weather is here to answer some of the questions people have been searching most about these wildfires, starting with, is the heat here to stay?
Yes, Matthew. Well, this is the situation at the moment. We're going to see subtle changes in terms of the heat distribution over the next few days. But these areas that you can see on the map in orange and red are the areas that are significantly above average. In fact, some parts of France into eastern Spain are around about 10 degrees above what we'd expect for this time of year. It has been turning that little bit cooler as a front has moved in across parts of Portugal into the west of Spain as well. But what we've had over recent days is high pressure close to the UK, low pressure moving into Iberia here, and the winds around that high pressure have been driving those wildfires across parts of the UK into France as well. But over the next couple of days, if you just watch the orange and red colours here, they're just going to ease away, luckily, from parts of France. So we're still looking at temperatures here above average, but not quite as hot as it has been. The heat, I think, pushing further south towards Italy, around these coastal parts of the Mediterranean, because the Mediterranean Sea is very warm at the moment. Also to the west of the UK, it's going to stay very hot, as will parts of Scandinavia. But this central portion of Europe won't be quite as hot as we look through the next couple of days, but it may be quite a short respite. This is the forecast in Madrid. And as we head towards the weekend, well, temperatures 34, 35 degrees, that's pretty average for the time of year. But just watch that build in temperatures again through next week. We could be seeing temperatures close to 40 degrees there and into parts of France as well. Those temperatures again are going to be on the rise, I think, later into next week.
Well, another question lots of people are asking, Sarah, is the rain coming?
Well, it has been exceptionally dry across much of Europe, including the United Kingdom and France as well. But what we're going to be seeing as we head through the rest of this week is weather fronts just trying to move in from the west. And you can see these showers developing across parts of France, Germany, Poland, the Alpine region as well. And as this frontal system bumps into that very hot air that we've got in place, that could well bring some really big storms, some thunderstorms and some downpours as well. So this is the rainfall accumulation that we're expecting over the next 5 days. And you can see the blue colours showing the rain that's on the way, thankfully, to parts of France, Germany, Poland, down towards the north of Italy as well. But crucially, it's not going to be raining everywhere. Look how dry it's still going to be across much of the United Kingdom. Barely a drop of rainfall in the forecast for some areas. And further south across Spain and Portugal too, we're set to see dry conditions persisting. So it's a bit of a mixed picture, I think, over the next week or so. Some welcome rainfall that's going to help the soil moisture and the fire situation across central parts of Europe. But we are not all going to be seeing it. Matthew.
Sarah, thanks very much. It's not only emergency services who've been fighting wildfires. Farmers in the UK and France have been helping to tackle the blazes as well. Crops become prime fuel for fires when they're ready to harvest because they're so dry, causing fields to become like tinderboxes. 2 farm workers managed to save the day in York when a fire spread rapidly across cereal crops using a tractor and a roller to make a fire break. Incredible pictures there. Well, sometimes in drought conditions, fires occur naturally, ignited by heat from the sun or a lightning strike, but most wildfires are caused by human carelessness. So what can we do to try to prevent them? Here's Matt McGrath.
Well, there's some advice from London Fire Brigade. The things they say can help include keeping your grass cut down, taking your litter home with you if the bins are full, stamping out cigarettes before you dispose of them, and avoid taking disposable barbecues to parks and open spaces. If you have a barbecue at home, make sure it's on level ground and keep them away from decking, from balconies, from trees and fences. The chances of experiencing a wildfire are increasing because climate change is driving more severe and extreme heat waves. These periods of dry weather and lack of rain are drying out vegetation, creating the perfect fuel for wildfires. Devon and Somerset Fire Service say that only 10 to 15% of wildfires happen on their own. The rest are either started deliberately or accidentally. They also say don't leave glass lying around in direct sunlight, as this can also cause fires.
And that is all you need to know about the wildfires in Europe.